training. Researchers say exposure to an array of microbes teaches a child's immune system to differentiate destructive microbes versus mild ones.
I'm Chris Coraggio, NBC News Radio.
NBC News on KCAA Loma Linda, sponsored by Teamsters Local 1932, protecting the future of working families. Teamsters1932.org.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. Tune in for a vibrant mix of fashion, finance, and life's essential foundations. Join us for expert interviews, insightful discussions, and empowering insights to elevate your lifestyle. From fashion trends to financial tips and personal growth strategies, we've got you covered. So grab your headphones and get ready to be inspired. Tune in now to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show and embark on this exciting journey with
Welcome
us.
to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. I am your host, M. Teresa Lawrence, here on the KCAA Broadcasting Network, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, where we cover over 5 million households in the greater Los Angeles. And we are also affiliated with CNBC, NBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. You can listen to us every Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time on any of your favorite podcasts and streaming channels. We are also in Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Android app. Just subscribe to Building Solid Foundations channel. Thank you for being here. My name is M. Teresa Lawrence, and I am your host. I am an international speaker, an author, and a leadership coach. I have published this beautiful little book called Gloriousness. It is a book that helps children process their emotions so that they can learn that they are the authors of the narratives of their lives. I am an immigrant, and I learned quickly as a child that if I could weave a story that had a fabulous result, I would have better outcomes in life. And so I have dedicated this book to the immigrants around the world, and my nonprofit, the Trueness Project, is on a mission to give it out all over the world. I am also the author of The Power of Leadership with M. Teresa Lawrence, and I say that this is my book for adults. This is a book that focuses on my philosophy, which is the leadership of play, and I firmly believe that we learn and we grow and we form community when we play with each other and we are vulnerable. And this book shares stories of hardships from several authors, and it just helps you realize how important it is to build community and to trust and have fun with other people in your life. So thank you for being here. Today, my guest is Dave Ray, and I am just so honored that he is here. I want to tell you guys that Dave is a 28-year veteran of the U.S. Navy, both active duty and reserves. I really love military families, so thank you, Dave, for serving. In 1991, after leaving active duty, he cut his teeth on business ownership with photography by Aldo, creating beautiful portrait and wedding photography for over 6 years. He soon after took a job capitalizing on his Navy experience as a war game designer for the U.S. Navy for 18 years, where he helped train Navy and Marine Corps personnel for several overseas deployments. In 2016, he caught the entrepreneurial bug a second time and opened Mind Masters South Bay, adding Dave Ray Coaching and Consulting in 2022. Since 2016, Dave has helped small business owners find ways to streamline operations, increase income profits, and create fantastic outcomes for his clients. Thank you, Dave, for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun.
It is. I want to start with your military background.
Sure.
If you could share, how you got into the Navy, what inspired you, what you did.
Oh boy, that's a long story.
Well, make it short.
I would say that I did not come from a real military family. My dad was in the Army, but we really never talked about that a lot. It came as an opportunity when I was in high school to go down and visit the United States Naval Academy during the summertime and see what they had to offer for academics and for the lifestyle of being a naval officer upon graduation. And so that really caught me. They have an amazing academic program, and I mean, they always have, they still do, but basically back in the 80s, I didn't know anything about them. I was planning on basically applying to Dartmouth College in New Hampshire and studying computer science. But when I found out about the Naval Academy, they had a top-notch engineering and science program, and that was where I decided I wanted to go. So I applied. I was able to get a recommendation from my congressman and did that. I graduated in 1980, so last century, and had my 6 years active duty in the Navy. And I did that. I was in aviation, so I was flying, and I actually used a lot of what I learned then in my current business.
That's what I was going to ask you. How did that experience lead to what you're doing now?
That in aviation, everything you do is with checklists and standardized operating procedures. And what I do now in teaching with my clients and going over public speaking, I've created a program that really maximizes the use of checklists and templates and worksheets and standardized procedures to help people get really great at public speaking very quickly and to reduce all the fear and anxiety.
Well, before we were taping, I was telling Dave how when I went to law school, yes, I did go to law school.
You graduated from law school, too.
I graduated from law school. The worst part was doing the moot court requirement, where you have to get up and speak in front of people. And obviously, I'm not that person anymore. I've evolved from that fear, but people who have that fear, how do you help them? I mean, like, what sort of clients come to you at that moment?
Sure. A lot of people that I work with, they're just regular business people. They don't own their own business, but they work in some sort of a company, and they're a middle-level manager, and they have new duties maybe. And they feel that they're a little shy or a little anxious about speaking to groups. And one of the things that I talk to them about is I let them know that that's really a big mind game that you're putting on yourself. It really is, when you do a speech or a presentation or running a meeting or doing anything with a group of people, a lot of times you just have to realize that you're in it together with the audience. They want you to do well. They're rooting for you. They want a good experience. They want to have fun and learn something, and they want you to do well. So it's not adversarial.
We were talking about that, because in the moot court, it is adversarial.
In legal situations for lawyers, yes, it's very adversarial, and I would think that learning to do that from the very beginning of being a lawyer would be very difficult. But luckily, most people are in a very different situation. Their audience wants them to do well, and they're rooting for them.
So I want you all to listen to that, especially those who have fear of public speaking, because my mindset was not there. Like, I did not believe what Dave just said, and I've evolved from that, and now I get it. Everybody wants everybody else to succeed in that situation, because otherwise you're not going to enjoy the experience.
Sure they do. Yep, exactly.
Well, there were other things we were talking about, and now I have been working on my public speaking skills, and I just took a course with a fabulous teacher, and he said that in order to enunciate, now this is really funny, people, that we should put something in our mouth. Yep. See, I am sharing my experience. I am enunciating. And before we started, Dave was telling me this ancient story.
Yes, Demosthenes.
Where is that from?
An ancient Greek orator and lawyer. I can't vouch for this, but they say he actually had a lisp as a child. And so to develop his speaking and his diction, he would put pebbles in his mouth and practice, because in those days they had to memorize their arguments when they went to do a trial. They couldn't use notes, and they didn't really have notes, but basically they had to memorize everything. So he would practice his diction and his speeches with a mouthful of pebbles so that he could get very, very clear and very, very understandable.
And what do people do now, aside from that silly technique with the...
What I teach my clients on is one thing that they can do to get ready for a presentation is to do voice exercises, just like a singer would do before singing, or an actor would do before a play.
You want to share one?
Yeah,
Sure.
certainly. You do like da 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 ta 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 ma 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 ma. And I even, because I actually am in the choir at church as well, but before I'm singing in Sunday mornings, in the car, I'm warming up my voice, and you have to get rid of all the gunk in the vocal cords and in the throat, and basically you practice the very low range tones all the way up to the very high range tones. So you start by oh, and then you go up progressively, and you get both the diction, how your lips and your mouth are forming the words, and then also get the vocal cords warmed up so that you have the range and the different tones to hit the higher pitched notes when you're talking at the end of a sentence. You want to maybe raise the volume or raise the pitch to a question.
So all of that is part of your coaching?
Absolutely. Yep.
And so, we're going to touch on that in the next segment. So when a client comes to you, you sit down and it's a personal intake. So you assess their goals, and
Yes.
then depending on what they need, that's what you provide them, correct?
I do, and I do have a 6-week course that I put a lot of people through, either one-on-one or in groups, but I do customize a lot of what I teach to the individual person's needs.
Okay. Well, now it's time for a break, and when we come back, we will touch upon your program. We'll be right
Absolutely.
back.
Thank you.
The worst thing a homeowner can do is be without a good set of tools. Don't find yourself caught without the right tools. The Real Men of Real Estate's Ultimate Utility Bag ensures you're equipped for any DIY task. With high-quality essentials like a hammer, measuring tape, multi-tool, and Exactac picture hanging tool housed in a sturdy bag, you'll be ready for anything. It's not a good feeling when you have to stop right in the middle of a project because you didn't have that tool that you should have had in the first place. Introducing the Real Men of Real Estate's Ultimate Utility Bag from Caliber 8. This ultimate all-around-the-house tool bag includes essentials like a non-slip grip 16-ounce claw hammer with a nail starter, which is perfect for keeping your fingers safe from getting smashed, a durable 16-foot measuring tape, which is a must in any toolkit, the Caliber 8 Multimax Pocket Tool, which features a 6-inch locking style adjustable pocket wrench, 5-position wrench, 2 Phillips, and 1 flathead screwdriver, a durable stainless steel pocket knife, can and bottle opener, saw blade, and LED flashlight so you don't have to get caught in the dark. A compact toolkit small enough to fit in your glove compartment or your kitchen drawer, with a utility knife, 2 Phillips and flathead precision screwdrivers, a mini socket set, a box of wood and machine screws, needle nose pliers, wire cutters, and a driver set with flathead Phillips and Torx style bits, and the Exactac picture hanging tool, which makes picture hanging easy with no measuring required or stray holes to deal with. With everything you need conveniently packed in one sturdy bag, you'll be ready for any DIY task. Call area code 619-453-4664 or visit realmenofrealestate.com. The first
Are you interested in learning more about real estate investing? Real estate investing has provided the resources to change the lives of many people I know, that it has also done for me. Hi, I'm Steve Matley, and I've been blessed for over 25 years to participate in over $1 billion worth of real estate investments, development, and construction projects across the country, and I've been well rewarded for that effort. But 2 major obstacles face beginning real estate investors: lack of money and lack of knowledge. What if I told you that a structure exists that can help you solve these issues and has been successfully used for over 50 years for many types of real estate projects? Learn the secrets of using syndications to fund real estate investments. As a new investor, you can participate in projects managed by others who already have the experience and knowledge. Or if you already have the experience and knowledge, but lack the funding, syndications can provide necessary money for your project by partnering with others. Join me on October 18th in San Diego at the Fire Up Live event, where we will walk through the basics of syndications, learn what they are, what types of projects can use them, how they're created, what you need to know to form and manage one, how to research and vet a project before you invest in one, and who can invest in one, and much more. Go to fireuplive.com and register for this one-time event in San Diego at the Hazard Center DoubleTree Hotel. That's fireuplive.com. I look forward to seeing you there.
Unlock the power within you with Who Do You Think You Are? Delve into the art of personal branding and craft a legacy that leaves an indelible mark on the world. Learn from real-life experiences and actionable insights, empowering you to become a leader in your field. Get your copy now and embark on the journey to unleash your true potential. Now available on Amazon.
Welcome back to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. I am your host, M. Teresa Lawrence. I am here with my guest, Dave Ray, and when we left off, we were talking about his coaching program, which teaches people like me how to public speak, which is a very important skill to have. Would you say that it's one of the most important skills to have?
For a business person, absolutely. You can do so much improving your speaking skills that people don't even think about. Their career, their business, it'll take them places they couldn't imagine.
So I want to go back because we're going to talk about your coaching program. We've already said it's individualized to the person, but it is a 6-week course and it is very structured.
Yes.
And I want to go back to your career in the military and what you did as somebody who engaged and plotted out war games. Because I think that's fascinating.
Yes. So after my first business, I got an opportunity to work as a government contractor here in San Diego. And the job was designing and executing war games for training for the Navy and Marine Corps people before they went on their deployments.
So what exactly does that mean? Does that mean like you get a whole group of people and you just come up with scenarios of what could happen?
Basically, yes.
See, I think that's so fun.
Yeah. We look at basically what's going on in the world and try to project over the next 2 to 5 years and figure out some scenarios. And we put those together in order to train the deploying forces before they go overseas.
Am I allowed to ask, did any of your scenarios actually come to light?
Actually, yes. We had some years ago, and I really can't talk about it, but basically we did some scenarios that at the time seemed a little far-fetched, but about 2 or 3 years later, they actually came to pass.
So isn't that amazing? Okay, and look, he's a public speaking coach in addition to a whole bunch of other things that he's not talking about today. But that is just so freaking amazing that you did that. And it's, I've always been after Dave, I'm like, you need to come up with like some games or like some like corporate retreats where people have to do that. I would be all over that. I'd sign up for that.
Oh, yeah. I've actually thought about that. That's a great idea.
But, okay, so this is somebody who plots out scenarios. So if you can imagine walking into a coaching program with somebody for public speaking who's going to give you scenarios of different situations in which you may be public speaking, this is your man. Yep. So let's go back to your coaching program. I go in. Okay, and I say, okay, I want to do a TEDx talk.
Okay.
But I've never done one before, and I'm terrified of public speaking.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, that has very specific guidelines because you have to, memorize the speech. You can't use notes. And you have to keep it to, I think they say now it's 18 minutes, or used to be 12 minutes. But basically, it's a very timed, structured speech. And you have to stand there pretty much in one spot on the big red dot. You can have a couple of
Okay,
slides.
you've already terrified me already. I'm like, I'm standing on a dot. I'm not moving.
Yes. Yeah. So it does have some very specific guidelines. A lot of what my clients do is they have to speak more in their business or in their job. They have to talk about themselves. They have to talk about their company. They have to talk about their financials for the quarter. They might have to address the CEO of their company and talk about retail store expansions or employees and hiring and firing. So they have pretty much a lot more flexibility on what they're going to be talking about. But I put them through a series of classes that I actually think of that everybody is a public speaker. So whether you're speaking to your CEO, whether you're speaking to the people in your office and doing just a regular Monday morning training meeting, or if you're going to a networking group and you get 15 minutes every 3 months to tell them about your particular company. Or if you're going to speak for like a career day at a high school. Or if you're even going to go speak to the city council and say, I need sidewalks in Spring Valley. Everything has really the same basis around it, how to structure it, figuring out what to say, figuring out what not to say, choosing just the right words, the real juicy, emotion-getting words to make your point.
So when, because I'm on a journey to get over the fear of public speaking, so the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Absolutely.
Correct?
It's a skill that can be mastered by repetition.
Which brings me to the next subject. So in order, you're teaching it, so you've already mastered it. But in addition to that, but in addition to that, you've signed up to do comedy. Can you share about that and how important that is to develop public speaking skills?
Absolutely. So as I am a business coach, part of my thing is to being, pushing people to go outside their comfort zone and push the envelopes. I thought, well, I probably need to be going outside my comfort zone and pushing my envelope if I'm going to be doing this right. So I took a 6-week course on comedy, stand-up comedy. And we just finished the last class the other day, and now tomorrow night, we have to perform at a comedy club. So we all have our 5-minute little sets that we're going to do.
And do you have to memorize those sets, or is it?
Yes, we have to memorize them. So I've been in the process the last 3 or 4 days of memorizing my final joke set. They said at the class, don't change anything, which I proceeded to go ahead and change at least 3 or 4 jokes that I just felt weren't funny enough. But I have it recorded, and I'm listening to myself on the recorder over and over again.
When you do that, do you research the jokes? I mean, how do you come up with that? And I'm only asking because it's sort of the same as coming up with a speech for public speaking.
It's a lot the same, yes. So in our particular cases, all the students really just picked something from their own background, their own history. One gentleman was talking about growing up in El Centro with all the dust in the air and the pesticides. One gentleman was talking about being a very young-looking father of 3. And mine is mostly about being older and all the challenges of getting older with things that you can't eat and things that you can't drink and waking up 3 times a night. But in this particular case, most of our work was not researched, it was just life experiences.
So you took this course. Are you a believer in lifelong learning?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I take classes all the time.
Because it seems, just from reading your bio, you've always been progressing and evolving and doing, and one thing leads to another. Yep. And I briefly want to touch on the photography.
Okay, sure.
How did that happen?
Well, that was when I first got off active duty, and like a lot of people, either having a job change or a life change or whatever, they say, oh, well, I'm going to start a business. So you just pick something that you like doing and you figure, well, I'm going to be a business person. So I knew nothing about business. All I knew about was taking photographs.
And where did that come from?
That was just a hobby. That was just something I did for fun. I would run around the ship taking pictures of the people working on the flight deck, launching the airplanes, or fixing things in the mechanic shop. And so I had this great idea, okay, I'm going to become a photographer and open my own studio and take wedding portraits. So that's what I did, and I ended up doing that for about 6 years. And I would say I learned a lot about photography, but I learned a lot more about running a business.
So would your advice to the young entrepreneur be just do it and don't worry about failing? Just get your...
Basically, yeah, if you've got something that you want to do, just go for it. Trust your gut and just push yourself, and you'll figure out pretty soon what you need to learn, and then you go get the help of the training that you need, whether you have to join an association, which is what I did. I joined several of the local photography groups, and they would have monthly meetings, and they would have competitions, and you would watch the other...
How was that? Did you ever submit?
Yeah, a couple of times, yeah, absolutely.
What was your... did you have a genre that you submitted in?
Yeah, mostly the wedding. Well, weddings and portraits both. So I did some really nice work with families at the beach or young couples, in their home, babies, and then weddings. Sometimes I had big weddings.
What was your
weddings.
favorite? What was your favorite memory of that chapter?
I would say there was this one wedding. It was way out in the outreaches of the San Diego County area here. And they had a really beautiful home, And they had a really nice wedding. It was all very cowboy sort of themed. And in fact, the bride was wearing like a cowboy hat with her wedding dress. And we went outside their house, and there was this enormous boulder, probably about 7 or 8 feet tall. So I took a piece of chalk and I did a big heart on this boulder. And I don't even remember their names now, but it was like, Joni Loves Chachi or something, in chalk on this boulder. And then the bride and groom leaning up against the boulder with all the brush in the background. And you can see just like pieces of the boulder and then the bride and groom really close together. And so that was one of my favorite wedding photos I ever took.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
It's yet again another time for a break, but when we come back, I want Dave to share about his publishing, because he's also an author. Dave is actually pretty much a Renaissance man. He's now doing public speaking coaching, but he's got several skills. And I think his book is fabulous because I love words. And the name of his book is Verbal Vigilante. So we'll be right back. Thank you.
The worst thing a homeowner can do is be without a good set of tools. Don't find yourself caught without the right tools. The Real Men of Real Estate's Ultimate Utility Bag ensures you're equipped for any DIY task. With high-quality essentials like a hammer, measuring tape, multi-tool, and Exactac picture hanging tool housed in a sturdy bag, you'll be ready for anything. It's not a good feeling when you have to stop right in the middle of a project because you didn't have that tool that you should have had in the first place. Introducing the Real Men of Real Estate's Ultimate Utility Bag from Caliber 8. This ultimate all-around-the-house tool bag includes essentials like a non-slip grip 16-ounce claw hammer with a nail starter, which is perfect for keeping your fingers safe from getting smashed, a durable 16-foot measuring tape, which is a must in any toolkit, the Caliber 8 Multi-Max Pocket Tool, which features a 6-inch locking style adjustable pocket wrench, 5-position wrench, 2 Phillips, and 1 flathead screwdriver, a durable stainless steel pocket knife, can and bottle opener, saw blade, an LED flashlight so you don't have to get caught in the dark. A compact toolkit small enough to fit in your glove compartment or your kitchen drawer, with a utility knife, 2 Phillips and flathead precision screwdrivers, a mini socket set, a box of wood and machine screws, needle nose pliers, wire cutters, and a driver set with flathead Phillips and Torx style bits, and the Exactac picture hanging tool, which makes picture hanging easy with no measuring required or stray holes to deal with. With everything you need conveniently packed in one sturdy bag, you'll be ready for any DIY task. Call area code 619-453-4664 or visit realmenofrealestate.com. The first
Are you interested in learning more about real estate investing? Real estate investing has provided the resources to change the lives of many people I know, that has also done for me. Hi, I'm Steve Matley, and I've been blessed for over 25 years to participate in over $1 billion worth of real estate investments, development, and construction projects across the country, and I've been well rewarded for that effort. But 2 major obstacles face beginning real estate investors: lack of money and lack of knowledge. What if I told you that a structure exists that can help you solve these issues and has been successfully used for over 50 years for many types of real estate projects? Learn the secrets of using syndications to fund real estate investments. As a new investor, you can participate in projects managed by others who already have the experience and knowledge. Or if you already have the experience and knowledge, but lack the funding, syndications can provide necessary money for your project by partnering with others. Join me on October 18th in San Diego at the Fire Up Live event, where we will walk through the basics of syndications, learn what they are, what types of projects can use them, how they're created, what you need to know to form and manage one, how to research and vet a project before you invest in one, and who can invest in one, and much more. Go to fireuplive.com and register for this one-time event in San Diego at the Hazard Center Doubletree Hotel. That's fireuplive.com. I look forward to seeing you there.
Unlock the power within you with Who Do You Think You Are? Delve into the art of personal branding and craft a legacy that leaves an indelible mark on the world. Learn from real-life experiences and actionable insights, empowering you to become a leader in your field. Get your copy now and embark on the journey to unleash your true potential. Now available on Amazon.
Welcome back to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. I am your host, M. Teresa Lawrence, and we return with our guest, Dave Ray. When we left off, we were talking about his photography, and now we move on to his literary work, Verbal Vigilante. So, yes. Dave, if you could show the audience the book.
There you go.
And it's really cool cover. Look at that with the cowboys.
Yep.
And if you could share what inspired you to write it and tell us, why it's important.
Certainly. So the thing that really got me thinking about writing it was I tend to be a little bit of a word nerd, so I always notice...
But you're not alone. There are lots of people here that are word nerds. And my entire nonprofit is about the power of words.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I'm one of those guys that I notice when the newscasters or the radio people use a word improperly or could have maybe said something a little bit differently, or they mix two idioms together. And so I was kind of thinking about that and watching that over the years. This was years and years and years ago. And I started writing down like the words that they misuse. And we started to get a very long list. And this was during the time I was doing the wargaming. So we had a big whiteboard in our office. And so the list of words just kept getting longer and longer and longer of all the ones that people commonly misuse. So then I thought, we ought to do something about this. We ought to write a book so that people will stop misusing all these words. So that was actually the genesis of the idea for the book. And then when I finished, I came up with about 55 or 60 different word pairs that people mix up, like a prize versus a praise.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, could you give us a few?
Yeah, like pose and comprise, or even bring and take have really different meanings. And when I got that part of it written, that was the original idea for the book, I realized that there really wasn't enough meat in it to be a real book. Because if people really wanted to, they could just look that up on the internet. So then I thought, well, what do I know that you can't just look up on the internet? And I realized that over the years, in all of the work that I had done in running my first business, being in the Navy, doing the wargaming, I had a lot of knowledge about good, succinct writing, and also seeing a lot of really bad writing. We had one person on our staff that her grammar was just all over the map. It was so hard to fix it, and seemed that sometimes like I was the only one on the staff of 40 that really cared. So I would be completely agitated with the boss sometimes about...
See, that's why it's Verbal Vigilante.
Yes. But basically, so then I put all this other stuff together with those confused word pairs, and that became the full book. So the stuff that I talk about in Verbal Vigilante is how to write the subtitle is Win Your Battles and Make Things Happen with Powerful Writing. So the idea is when you get down to write a letter or an email or a press release or something in writing, you really have gotten to some point that you really want to make something happen. You want to get something, you want to get that dishwasher returned that the store won't take it back and it's not functioning. Or you want to get out of that jury duty because you're the sole caregiver for your mother-in-law. Or you just want to get something done. And many times people don't get that done.
Because they're talking superfluously about everything else except the point.
all around the issue. They're not really saying what needs to be said. They're putting a lot of confusing extra information. So I put that into the book, and again, similar to my coaching right now, I put it into checklists, 10 items for this and 8 items for that, and sample templated letters, and talk about writing a convincing, authoritative piece of writing using these techniques. And again, it works in any situation. If you want to have a fundraiser at the school, so you write a press release, you want the newspaper to print the press release so that you'll get a lot of people to come to your fundraiser. There's goals for every piece of writing and how you can attain those goals using this kind of a systemized approach.
Oh, that's fabulous. Well, given that this is Verbal Vigilante, and now we're in an age where AI is taking over the writing that we all do.
Exactly.
Tell me about your experience using AI, and have you ever, because I've used it, and the funniest things come out of AI, because you guys know I have all these like imaginary projects going on, and then and I was trying to get the town council to declare the International Day of Trueness for the town, and ChatGPT and all these other AI things said, no, the town is not going to do that. That's very political. You can't ask them to do that. So that's true. It's a true story.
Wow.
So they were like, you're going to get in trouble. Don't do it. Right. And so it just depends on the prompts and what you want.
Is
so what's your
key.
experience given your verbal vigilantiness?
Well, I've gotten quite a bit of opportunity to use the Chat GPT, and then another one that I like called Claude.
Yeah, I really enjoy
just
Claude.
like the name. And basically using those tools to, they call it ideate, create ideas.
Okay.
And so if I'm trying to write up some emails, maybe some marketing emails or something, I would ask it, give me a 100-word email for marketing, or to, you have to tell it who your client is, what you're selling, what your particular ideas are for your business. And it would put that AI in a frame of mind to write a particular thing for you that would give you what you're looking for. And there's a lot of learning that you have to do. The individual person has to learn how to write the prompts that give the AI the right information. But you'd be surprised the stuff that you can come up with. It's really, really good stuff.
So do you believe that that's the future, that's going to take over our writing? Like it's going to know us so well that... Because there's a certain beauty in verbal vigilante. I mean, I know you had fun with your team watching the newscasters mess up the words, because I would have fun doing that. It's true.
Oh, yeah. I think there's maybe two different sides of it. There's people that need it really because they're not either very good at writing or they just don't feel comfortable writing, and they would really rely on it. But then there's also the people like myself. I think I'm pretty good at the writing part, but sometimes I just need the ideas, because either I'm stuck in my box and I'm not thinking outside the box well enough, or I'm using the same things that I've been using that either they were working okay, so I just keep using them over and over again. But to get something completely away from myself that thinks up the ideas, and then I can take those ideas, and that's what I've actually done several times, is give me five ideas on how, where I can market to who would want to get public speaking training, where
I see. So then it doesn't go back to public speaking. And then I was going to ask you, so with your students, well, I don't know how they come up with their speeches, because it's obviously personal experience, but then there are time limits. I'm sure you give them, do a 5-minute speech, do a 2-minute speech.
Yes, I'm very big on sticking to your time. If you're speaking at a Rotary Club for lunch and they want you to do 25 minutes, I get them, 15 minutes for your speech and then 10 minutes for questions, or 18 minutes for your speech and 7 minutes for questions. And then if you end up a few minutes early, they like you that much more.
Right. Well, going back to the AI, sometimes you can plug in, write me that 15-minute speech, but then it's not
scary.
It is.
You can say, give me a 300-word marketing email, or give me a 5-minute speech on whatever, and it'll give you a 301-word paragraph of what you asked for, or a 5-minute and 2-second speech on exactly what you're asking for. It's scary.
Okay, so let's go back to Rotary, because if you guys follow Dave on social media, he's everywhere. He's always speaking in front of some group somewhere. When did you start doing that? And because when you follow him, he's like at this Rotary meeting, he's at this thing, and are you speaking at them?
Yes. So that's my thing now. Besides training people for speaking, I want to get out and speak. I have a goal this year of doing 2 public speaking presentations every month.
Wow, that's very impressive.
So far, I'm on track. But anybody that needs speakers, and there are a lot of groups that are actively looking for speakers in any type of industry, any type of business. So I call around to different groups, different clubs, different organizations, industry organizations, the Society of Human Resource People.
And what's your subject, or you just cater it to the organization?
Well, I have a very specific thing. I mean, I've got 3 or 4 general business topics that I like to speak on, And if there's something in that area that pertains to the group that they want to hear about, then I'm all in for that. I do want to make sure that I customize every speech to the needs of the group. That's one of the things I talk about in my training. And you may not be a good option for some people. You can't necessarily speak to every single group.
Right.
So if you don't have something to offer for a particular group, you have to be, grown up enough to admit that. And so I find out, what are they looking for? What are the types of people that they've had come in the past? What do they want to hear in the future? What are some areas that they really don't want to hear about? And then I discuss with the leader of the group, the president or the manager, the person that looks for the speakers, what can I offer that they'll appreciate? And if it's a good fit, then we schedule it.
All right. Well, it's time for another break. But when we come back, we're going to tie that all into your coaching program and tell people how to get a hold of you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
The worst thing a homeowner can do is be without a good set of tools. Don't find yourself caught without the right tools. The Real Men of Real Estate's ultimate utility bag ensures you're equipped for any DIY task. With high-quality essentials like a hammer, measuring tape, multi-tool, and Exactac picture hanging tool housed in a sturdy bag, you'll be ready for anything. It's not a good feeling when you have to stop right in the middle of a project because you didn't have that tool that you should have had in the first place. Introducing the Real Men of Real Estate's ultimate utility bag from Caliber 8. This ultimate all-around-the-house tool bag includes essentials like a non-slip grip 16-ounce claw hammer with a nail starter, which is perfect for keeping your fingers safe from getting smashed. A durable 16-foot measuring tape, which is a must in any toolkit. The Caliber 8 Multimax Pocket Tool, which features a 6-inch locking style adjustable pocket wrench, 5-position wrench, 2 Phillips, and 1 flathead screwdriver, a durable stainless steel pocket knife, can and bottle opener, saw blade, and LED flashlight so you don't have to get caught in the dark. A compact toolkit small enough to fit in your glove compartment or your kitchen drawer, with a utility knife, 2 Phillips and flathead precision screwdrivers, a mini socket set, a box of wood and machine screws, needle nose pliers, wire cutters, and a driver set with flathead Phillips and Torx style bits, and the Exactac picture hanging tool, which makes picture hanging easy, with no measuring required or stray holes to deal with. With everything you need conveniently packed in one sturdy bag, you'll be ready for any DIY task. Call area code 619-453-4664 or visit realmenofrealestate.com. The first
Are you interested in learning more about real estate investing? Real estate investing has provided the resources to change the lives of many people I know, that has also done for me. Hi, I'm Steve Matley, and I've been blessed for over 25 years to participate in over $1 billion worth of real estate investments, development, and construction projects across the country, and I've been well rewarded for that effort. But 2 major obstacles face beginning real estate investors: lack of money and lack of knowledge. What if I told you that a structure exists that can help you solve these issues and has been successfully used for over 50 years for many types of real estate projects? Learn the secrets of using syndications to fund real estate investments. As a new investor, you can participate in projects managed by others who already have the experience and knowledge. Or if you already have the experience and knowledge, but lack the funding, syndications can provide necessary money for your project by partnering with others. Join me on October 18th in San Diego at the Fire Up Live event, where we will walk through the basics of syndications, learn what they are, what types of projects can use them, how they're created, what you need to know to form and manage one, how to research and vet a project before you invest in one, and who can invest in one, and much more. Go to fireuplive.com and register for this one-time event in San Diego at the Hazard Center DoubleTree Hotel. That's fireuplive.com. I look forward to seeing you there.
Unlock the power within you with Who Do You Think You Are? Delve into the art of personal branding and craft a legacy that leaves an indelible mark on the world. Learn from real-life experiences and actionable insights, empowering you to become a leader in your field. Get your copy now and embark on the journey to unleash your true potential. Now available on Amazon.
Welcome back to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. I'm your host, M. Teresa Lawrence, and we continue our conversation with Dave Ray about all of his fabulous offerings. In the past segments, we talked about his public speaking program, his book, Verbal Vigilante. We talked about photography, war games. I mean, this is a true Renaissance man. So, Dave, it's true. It's like crazy good how creative you are.
I appreciate that.
Oh, and then of course the comedy, which I think is fabulous. I think I may have to sign up to take a comedy course because it just seems really challenging and scary to me.
It's harder than you'd think.
So Dave, in this last segment, we tell the audience how to get a hold of you and what your offerings are. So let's go through them slowly. First, let's start with the book, Verbal Vigilante.
It is available on Amazon. It was self-published, and I feel very excited that I did I did a very good job.
I read it. It's very good.
Self-published books maybe don't quite hit the mark, but I think you will not be able to tell this is self-published.
And given the name, Verbal Vigilante,
yes,
you know that this is a man who watches out for words. Yes. I love words.
Yeah, it's available on Amazon. Just click on books and type in Verbal Vigilante and it'll come right up.
Okay, and then the next thing I want you to tell the audience about is how do groups get a hold of you for public speaking engagements?
Yes, so I do have a website, and it's daveraycoachingandconsulting.com. daveraycoachingandconsulting.com. It is a mouthful, but that's what we decided on.
So I'm going to say it again, daveraycoachingandconsulting.com.
And there's a contact us bubble at the very bottom of the page, and you can contact me and ask me anything you want. If you have a question, if you want to hire me to come and speak with you, or even if you want to just discuss the possibility of my speaking with you for a group meeting or a association meeting or an industry meeting.
And so just to be clear, you're not doing photography anymore. If somebody called you up and said,
Dave,
I don't do I want you to do photography. So
yeah, that was a past life.
But it taught you a lot, though.
Yes. Oh, I loved it. I'd be lying on the floor with a camera staring up at the ceiling and the bride and the party dancing in a big circle. Oh, you can't beat it.
So now let's talk about the public speaking program. Share the different types of programs that you offer.
Right.
And how they would be able to sign up.
Sure. So there's 2 or 3 different things that I do offer. I work with people one-on-one, and I can also work with groups. So I have a group that starts every 3 or 4 months.
Oh, okay. On a schedule on the website?
It'll be announced in my social media, and that'll be for my 8-week training program on public speaking. If people want a little bit more flexibility or they prefer to work one-on-one, I can definitely work one-on-one with anybody, and I can put them through that same 8-week program. Or if you have a very specific need, maybe you've done a lot of speaking already and you don't really need some of the stuff that I can teach you, I can work with you on some very specific issues of either crafting the content of your speech. I can work on your stage presence, talking about things like your mannerisms, how you're going to dress, things like how you want to walk across the stage, and getting everything in sync so that you're presenting the right persona to the audience.
And how would they sign up for that?
They could certainly contact me again on the website with the Contact Us button.
And that's daveraycoachingandconsulting.com.
Yes.
And so, but before we close out, do you want to share any gift with the audience that might be listening?
Absolutely, yeah. If you're a follower of Teresa's, then I'd be more than happy to give you a 10% discount on any training or coaching. Again, I do the 8-week programs, and I can do some one-on-one customized, even if it's just maybe like a 1-hour session. Whatever you think you need, I want to get you to your goals, and so 10% off on anything you need.
And all you have to do is mention the phrase Butterfly March.
Butterfly March.
And so thank you, Dave, for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
This is so much fun, and really, Verbal Vigilante, that's the way to go. I'm such a wordsmith. So I want to share with you all again, my name is M. Teresa Lawrence. I am your host of the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. You can learn about me at mteresalawrence.com, and you can learn about my nonprofit, the Trueness Project, at yourtrueness.org. I love words. My nonprofit is all about the power of words. And I believe that Words turn dreams into reality. That's why I love Verbal Vigilante. I love what Dave does. And I know from personal experience that I started my nonprofit and I wanted to change the world, and I was so scared of public speaking that I'm glad I jumped off a cliff and decided to go do it, because I couldn't do my dream without public speaking. So for all of you out there that are on the fence saying, oh, I've always wanted to public speak, I don't know what to do, this, that, and other, Dave Ray, coachingandconsulting.com. Use the phrase butterfly march when you fill out the form, and you'll get a 10% discount. So thank you again.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
This was really so much fun, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you all.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Connect, and Building Solid Foundation.
Go ahead and say it. We're all ears. KCAA.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? Well, what would you do if you have a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's way too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Many times, addiction treatment is fully covered. So why not use your insurance to treat your addiction problem just like you would if you had a broken bone? And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed to take time off by law, and your employer doesn't need to know the reason. So there are two good reasons. You've got insurance you can use for your addiction problem, and with the Family Medical Leave Act, it's completely confidential. Call now, 800-398-7414. That's 800-398-7414.
Once in a while, every so often, an educator comes to our school systems with passion and vision. That's Nicholas Dibbs.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Dibbs, teacher running for school board here in Garden Grove Unified Trustee Area 1. And the district cut 10 intermediate school woodshop classes and 4 auto shop classes. We need these classes back so students can have a better future.
This is Nicholas Dibbs' Opus.
Where many schools eliminate their woodshop, a project that they could really dig into.
No matter where you live across this country,
it feels like thrilling to see something that I've done being so important.
It feels nice because I know that a lot of people don't really think that kids can really do stuff like this. They don't think that we can actually do big things.
Some leaders recognize that, others don't. But on November 5th, you can by voting for Nicholas Dibbs.
Please support this effort so we can have quality vocational education.
And that's amazing.
Go to nickdibbs.org, nickdibs.org. Thank you.
Paid for by Dibbs for School Board 2024.
Vote no on Measure S. Just 1%. 1 is the loneliest number that you'll ever see. It's a 1% pay cut to everyone. They say it's not much, pure deception, and they will always be back for more. Tell them that making big threats to the paychecks of public safety employees, firefighters, closing a firehouse, firing